Hey people, my name is Chris, but you might know me as Kalis or MP Chris or Imp. I'm the leader of the Deathlord Nation, which includes everything from our own Deathlord Society to our esports teams to sub-societies like the Red Cloaks. Alright, so if you're watching this video right now, it is likely because you've recently joined the Nation through one of these channels. What you're about to see is a little bit of training, so I want to urge you to go ahead and sit back, relax, get in a comfortable position that suits you for learning, and maybe get a notebook. Now, not all the training is too intensive, but some of it does require that you take notes. Without further ado, let's go ahead and begin. This first training segment will cover the basics of economic hunting in Entropia Universe. This training is primarily designed to help you better manage your resources, hopefully, with the intent that you would stay longer in the game. For economic hunting, I've made 3 simple rules. Designed as guidelines, these will be the starting point in which you can build a bigger and better hunting strategy. Please note that these rules apply for hunts where economic use of resources is the goal, not necessarily other purposes, such as tournaments or player versus player combat. The first rule is that you should use unlimited weapons and equipment where possible. For those that don't know, limited items cannot be repaired. As a result, you lose all progress towards tier levels when you have to refit a limited item. In addition, markup on any limited item or weapon is a liability during refit, whereas with unlimited items, it can be a source of revenue. However, with this said, it should be noted that there are always exceptions to this rule. To any rule, really. But specifically, there are some weapons that, even though they are limited, are worth the investment. Weapons with SIB or specific weapons for a tournament hunt would be a good example of exceptions. It should also be noted that unlimited weapons are much more expensive than their limited counterparts. The second rule for economic hunting is to be cognizant of your ammunition use. In game terms, this means try not to deal more damage than you need to kill a mob. If you don't understand the point I'm trying to make, just think about it. If you have rifle A that deals 8 damage and uses 200 ammunition, you have rifle B that deals 4 damage, uses 100 ammunition. In any given case, you want to use rifle A at the start because it's going to kill the mob faster. However, when the mob reaches 4 points of health or below, you should want to switch to rifle B. In this way, you can take this mentality and apply it. The first weapons you should invest in are a good solid carbine, low level, something like an Apollo, and a pistol for finishing. And if you're on Planet Calypso, you could also use the Bukin because melee weapons naturally have some economic advantage because it's always assumed that you're already taking damage and you're taking armor decay when you use them, so they do tend to be a little bit more economic. The third rule of economic hunting is to be able to identify and hopefully eliminate those expenses that are not entirely necessary for your hunt. This may sound very similar to the second rule, but I do bifurcate them for a very specific reason. I'm not going to elaborate on that right now. Just you need to know, or at least be cognizant of what is important to your hunt. You don't necessarily have to have a vehicle to go hunt punies near Icarus. You don't have to have a healer. You don't even have to have armor. However, if you're, let's say, 5 minutes away from the nearest respawn point, and you've invested 3 ped trying to kill a mob, and you know that it'll take you 5 minutes to get back, if that mob regenerates all that health, that's 3 ped lost. In those kind of cases, the car, the armor, the healer, all of that would make sense. Once again, it's all situational. And I'm not even saying necessarily that if you choose to have these extra incidental expenses that it's a bad thing. You choose what is right for you in your own hunting situation. However, you should be aware of what is and what is not necessary. So these are the 3 basic guidelines, my 3 basic rules for economic hunting. You should definitely be looking at other information sources. Go to Entropia, ask other people. Feel free to ask me about my own hunting theories and loot theories. However, I think anyone that listens to these rules and the reasons I've given for them, I think it's pretty undeniable. You know, these are good guidelines to have, and they can give you in the mentality that you really need to have for this game. It's not like any other massively multiplayer online game so far. So you need to approach it quite a bit differently. So with that, I thank you for watching, and yeah, good luck and may loot be with you.